Hello and welcome to On the Couch, a weekly video series where we speak to mental health professionals about a range of issues that we as men and women face in the Caribbean. My name is Tracy Rogers and we're at Wholeness and Wellness Counselling Services, an agency that provides online and in-person services for individuals, couples and groups around mental health and emotional wellness. Today, I'm very excited to have with me the beautiful Karline Brathwaite. Karline is a drama therapist, a mental health professional, and I'm so excited to have you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
So we're in October, and we in Trinidad and Tobago, there is a week that we nationally commemorate mental health.
Yes.
An awareness around mental illness. October also marks the month in which the international community commemorates World Mental Health Day. So we should be talking about mental health all the time. One of my favorite quotes I found quite recently was someone who says, my mental health is my full-time job. Everything else I do is a side hustle.
I like that.
I like that. Yes, it really resonated with me. So we should be talking about this all the time.
Absolutely.
And I want us to start talking about a research project that you and I and another person, Jason Hunt, was involved with. It was called Why You Want to Fly. And maybe we can start sharing with the audience that project and what it was about, and then we can discuss what we learned from it.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Tracy. Why You Want to Fly was a research project that drama therapist, social researcher, social worker, psychiatric nurse, and a photographer, we came together and we devised an art-based, immersive inquiry into the lives of 5 persons who live with mental illness.
Yeah.
They were co-researchers.
Yeah.
So they were very much in and part of the process. And we mounted an art exhibition. So these 5 persons received cameras.
Yeah.
And in their daily lives for 6 weeks, 6 weeks, they would take photos.
9 weeks.
9 weeks. 9 weeks. They would take images, capturing some of their experiences of social and self-stigma.
Yes. So when we talk about self-stigma, we talk about internalized stigma.
Yes.
So that feeling of unworthiness, that feeling of something being fundamentally wrong with me. And stigma builds on the idea of a spoiled collective identity. I believe that I am my illness.
Right.
I am that label. And then social stigma refers to public stigma and the ways in which members of the public reduce a person to a group of symptoms. So we were trying to explore how people navigate dealing with both of these types of stigma.
Yes, and it was important to get that information from persons who have identified as persons living with mental illness. So we needed to get their input.
Yeah.
All right. And after the 6 weeks, we produced this amazing art exhibition and work that we are tremendously grateful for from these persons who willingly volunteered their time to share their stories, their lives with us, and to share some of their hard, difficult experiences with stigma. Why You Want to Fly.
Yeah.
Persons that came into the exhibition were some of the feelings that came up. People were shocked. People were tremendously grateful. People felt, wow, this is the role that I play in some of the negative experiences that people live as they journey with their illness.
So one of the things that stood out for me was the feedback around how people, oftentimes when you think that someone has a mental illness and I don't, you think that you are so different.
Yeah.
But one of the things that came up over and over is like, this is me. I see myself in these experiences. And what we're doing is narrowing the gap.
Yeah.
And so when we break down that experience of othering, I think we take fundamental steps towards healing and towards breaking down stigma.
Absolutely.
Because that stigma thrives from othering. You are that, I am this. And I think that was a really powerful moment in that work. So this work was multimodal. It involved, as we said, photography. The people who came to the workshop also engaged in art making. Also choreography, because you're also a professional dancer. So we're able to take the data and actually explore what stigma feels like in the body. And we did that with Dwayne White Jr. So we were able to really mount this holistic inquiry. So as we think about this time when we're hyper aware of mental illness and members of our community that are dealing with various types of mental illness, from depression to bipolar, mania, schizophrenia, substance use disorders, anxiety, phobias. I mean, there's such a range of issues, and stigma adds like another layer of distress on top of already distressing experience. So we know that we're in that time. Let's talk about some key takeaways. How can you now, today, make steps towards breaking this stigma?
One of the things that came up for me, especially from that part of the research where we created choreography, kind of exploring what stigma feels like in the body, this idea of drawing closer. When it's in your body, it's right here, it's close to you. And I want to encourage persons who may not understand much about mental illness to draw closer to it. Take a second and learn. If you have encountered someone who may have a mental illness, sit and have a conversation. We also want to learn how we can treat people with compassion. Yeah. People tend to fear what they don't understand. Yeah. And trying to understand, trying to get closer and really, really get a sense of what people experience daily. And then learning to understand that the person isn't the illness. The person is so many different, and we've learned so many wonderful things from the people who share their lives with us in those 9 weeks.
Yeah, because people living with mental illness, they're extra creative.
Oh, yes.
They're powerful. So one of the things about working through this is that they see the world in a different way. And we learn so much from them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Karline. We want to invite you to continue to have conversations about mental illness, about your mental well-being and your mental health. So we want you to continue the discussion, and remember, you can contribute towards ending stigma.
Absolutely.
Breaking that, opening conversations, and really you may be saving somebody's life.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.